Good morning guys, it is the 24th of May today. It's a bright lipstick kind of day today. As you guys are probably aware, I didn't vlog yesterday for obvious reasons. It just felt like a bit of a reflective day, and so it didn't feel right to pick up the camera. It still doesn't kind of feel right to pick up the camera today, but I've got a few things that I'm just doing, so I thought I'd share them with you, and we'll just probably keep it short and sweet. I'm not going to say all the obvious things to do with yesterday's horrible attack on Manchester. I mean, obviously my heart goes out to all the people involved. There's just no words, is there really? So we'll skip that, but you know I'm feeling the same way that everybody else is feeling. And it does have an effect on everybody, and I don't think you'd be human if it didn't have an effect on you. Anyway, so yesterday morning when that all hit, I just got up, went to the gym and just kind of took out some aggression in the gym a little bit. And then we just had, obviously Joe was working, I just worked on a few leafling studio things, which I'll show you later, and we had a quiet one. We didn't miss much. We did our usual, sat out in the garden and had a cup of tea, rescued some mice from our cat who suddenly decided to hunt. Has anyone else had a cat that suddenly decided to hunt? Like I said in the other video, my last video, she hunted once. I brought a mouse in that was live, there was nothing wrong with it, I let it back outside. And then she did the same, that was like years ago, and then she did the same the other day, and now she's bringing back mice all the time, and in fact we've just been out there and freed up another one. She's now sulking under the bed because I'm keeping her in. What do? Do I let her out and just let her get on with it? Is there anything I can do? Why has this started now? She's 8 years old, 9 years old, why has it started now? Last night Joe and I just had a really nice walk on the beach, about 7:30, something like that. So just before 8 o'clock, we had a lovely walk on the beach. It was really, really quiet, and it was weird because the weather here yesterday when we woke up, it was really misty and it was very, very still all day, no wind or anything like that, and it just felt like the right mood for the day. This morning I am working on that commission piece. I didn't get round to doing it the other day. I still haven't found my paintbrushes, by the way. I'm going to delve into the stack of boxes and look for them in a minute, but I'll show you what I'm doing first. The chair's just spinning around. So I have stuck a load of A4 together, as you can see, in this beautiful manner, and the piece is going to be, the visible piece of the frame is going to be 40 by 50 centimetres. So I'm just going to sketch out what will be the visible piece and decide how big I'm going to do the paper, and then I'm going to write in the lettering in rough and transfer it onto the watercolour piece of paper that I'll be using, which I'll show you later. That's just a nice way of doing it if you're kind of, because I want the lettering to be a certain way, and I spent a long old time trying to get the lettering spaced right. So I'll just do kind of a tracing paper reverse to standard direction text thing. Don't worry about that, I'll try and show you when I'm doing it, but so that it looks right and I can line it up on the piece, and I'm not, obviously once it's on there and the watercolour's dried, I'll be freehanding the writing on, but I want to just sketch it out on there by using the transfer sort of technique, just so that it sits right and it's central and all of that kind of stuff. Because I don't want to keep taking a rubber to some nice paper, so I won't do that. Yeah, so that's it really. Okay guys, so now what I've done is I've drawn the edge of, so this whole piece of paper here is the size of the visible thing that's going to be framed. So the bit of paper I actually use is going to be a bit bigger, and then the paint will probably come to about here, sort of wishy-washy, so that there's a bit of white space. And then I've drawn out the size. I don't want to show you the quote just in case, I doubt that the girl who's going to get this as a present watches these videos, but just in case. I've drawn out the size of the box that the text is going to be in. The text is there, and yeah. I'm going to just transfer that once I've finished sort of sketching it properly and smoothly onto a piece of tracing paper. Just have to remember what I've done with my tracing paper. But look what I found. I got underneath this desk, pulled it forward a little bit, and I kind of basically squashed myself in there, in a gap there, and just like ferreted through. But I found this. Ooh, and this is what I'm looking for. So what I want is this brush, because it's like a moppy kind of brush. You can get loads of water and paint on that. And also maybe one of these. Yeah. And, oh yeah, this guy as well. Yeah. Bonus find. Paintbrushes. Do you like my paintbrushes? Although a lot of these are kind of old, and some of them are oil painting brushes I've never used because I don't paint in oil. Ooh. Don't know what just came shooting off of that. But yeah, I don't really use water, I don't use oil paint, so a lot of these are just really old, but I can find a use for them. Nothing goes to waste, so yeah, just got to go downstairs, put some washing on, get some phone charge going so I can watch a video whilst I'm faffing about with this paper, and we're good to go. Lunchtime sun. You've got to stop chasing those mice, Giz. Do you hear me? Don't shake your head at me. Giz. No more mice, okay? Answer me. My word, I look rough today. Okay, I'm going to make myself a delicious drink of nutritious content. Why don't you see how amazing it is? I'm sure you'll want one. Let's put you there. Okay, oops. Can't really balance you guys, but there you go. So you have a glass of water right here. I know you're slipping, but you're going to have to just bear with it. So I'm going to have the following. I'm feeling really, really tired, and later on I'm going to do some cardio, and I would normally take a couple of scoops of pre-workout. So I'm going to have one scoop now, one scoop later, because it's got caffeine in it and I need the caffeine. So one scoop of pre-workout. You guys know that I like the Alphamine by PE Science. So one scoop of that. Then I am going to have my usual, can't open the box, one scoop of creatine, and one scoop of this is about 5 grams, and one scoop of L-glutamine. You guys have seen me make this before, but there's a secret ingredient going into today's one which you're just going to be envious of. L-glutamine. And lastly, but not leastly, that's the thing, secret ingredient, delicious psyllium husks, filling and fibrous. I'm going to put in 2 scoops of this. This is basically just fibre for the body, and it's good for you, helps digestion, all that jazz. So basically in this drink I've got things that are going to help my body recover from the greatest angle ever, help my body recover from training, give me fibre, give me energy. Look at that. This is what my lovely husband refers to as pond water, or was it my dad? I can't remember which. One of them. Top tip if you drink psyllium husks is wash your glass out immediately. If you leave it on the side like this, then try and wash it up. It takes forever. Lunchtime's over, guys, so I'm now back up in my room, just going to try laying a first coat of paint down, and I'm going to clear a space so this can dry. So this is the piece of paper with the quote in the middle. Don't want to show you the quote just in case, but this is what the client chose, this kind of appearance with these sort of colours. She liked this one because it had a lot more blue in it, so I'm going to try and make sure that you can't really tell on the screen, but there are different shades of blue within that piece. So I'm going to try and lay down some colours, but it'll take several days for that to dry, and then another colour to be laid on top of that, and these kind of puddles to form and the paint to react in with itself. That's the plan. Just wash my palettes, always fun. Also found some more vases to use for, or old jam jars to use for water. So let's get going. Put some paint down. I'm back downstairs now. Tea. It is 3:45. I'm going to do another couple of hours with a bit of podcast on, and then I'm going to do some cardio. So I thought I'd show you what I did yesterday and tell you what I'm going to do with it now. So part of what I'm doing with my work with Gemma is talking to her about marketing, and I because I have my email list. If I show you on here, let me just go to a new tab and go to leafletingstudio.com. So the page that comes up to start with is, oh god, this Dell update is driving me crazy, remind me later. So it comes up with this be the first to know thing. So if you go on to leafletingstudio.com, this is what comes up, alright? And then on this page you can click on be the first to know, and then you just have to enter your first name, your last name, your email address, bish bash bosh, and you're on my mailing list, and you'll be informed when something happens. But because this has been up for a while, because my business was meant to launch last year and it didn't, I'm just working on some more pre-marketing, just to kind of change up what I'm doing. So I'm working on a free little, sort of like a mini ebook, I guess. And hang on, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you some stuff. As usual, a really shocking angle. But what I've been working on is this little mini ebook, and excuse the notes that are written all over. This is the first draft, although actually it's almost done. Having said it's the first draft, I've got some things to do. So what will happen is I'll work on a new marketing email thing that will mean that you can opt in to receive information when Leafleting Studio launches, any offers, any, be the first to know about any new products, all that kind of stuff. I won't do any junk mail whatsoever. It will just be kind of a newsletter, offers, that sort of thing. But because I'm not launched yet, I don't have that stuff available, I'm going to be doing this as the opt-in kind of offer, so you guys will be able to download this free little mini ebook if you're a bride and you're about to get married, or you've recently got engaged, or if you know anybody that's recently got engaged, just send them my way for this. You can get other versions of this in brides magazines and on other websites too, so it's not a new initiative. However, I'm including a few extra things which I'm not going to tell you about that I am going to include in with this. They're wedding themed as well. Eventually I will be doing other downloads for non-wedding themed things when the Leafleting Studio paper products section of the business comes into fruition, with the wedding invites and stuff and the wedding suites being my initial focus. But when the paper products come in and I'm doing kind of cards and prints and other stationery, I will do free downloads that you'll be able to sign up for as well. Maybe a quarterly thing or a monthly thing depending on what I'm doing. Can't promise when or what at the moment, but that I can promise that will happen. But this right now is a wedding theme thing, so at the moment you have to excuse the fact that it hasn't printed edge to edge. Our paper is really wobbly in our printer, so it is just a rough print. A few things I need to get rid of on here, for example, like this little box here has got a stroke around the edge of it for some reason, not really sure why. Leafleting Studio logo needs to come down, all that stuff. That's why I've got like an arrow here and some notes. So it's going to be called the wedding planning checklist, and then inside kind of speaks for itself, but you can plan your wedding if I get this way. Little intro there, lots of things I need to change, which I'm going to sit and do now, and then it gets into the checklist itself, which you could if you were a bride, and what I would do is stick a copy of this on my fridge and just tick through it. There's an awful lot on here, and I'm about to add some more bits into it as well. So these are the standard wedding things. So it starts at things to consider initially, the moment you've got engaged, 12 months to go, 9 months to go, 6 months to go, 3 months to go, so on and so forth, right up to the day. I'm also adding some additional little things to think about at the bottom, and it's just a thought section, and so I've written some stuff in there. Again, I'm not going to tell you guys what any of this says, you'll have to opt into my newsletter to find out. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. There's going to be a couple of little bonus bits of information at the end, which I've written about here. So that's going to be not necessarily part of the wedding planning checklist, but it's going to be part of an additional resource that you're going to get as a back couple of pages. Just some ideas for some nice things. And yeah, so I'm kind of excited about that. It's the first time I've created anything that's going to be free to download. So that will be up and running soon. I've just got to work out a few things about how to do these things. That's often my issue, is that I'll think of ideas, I'll do them, and I don't know quite how to get them out there. So I'll be visiting my MailChimp account later to see how I can do that. But so I'm going to sit now, pop on a podcast, and I am going to make my amendments here, add in the things I need to add in, drink my tea, and it's nice now. I'm going to open this window. The sun has come out properly. At lunchtime it was out a little bit, but now it's come out properly. That's good. Right guys, I've brought you upstairs just to show you whereabouts I'm at. These are just two things that I'm doing for a separate little project. I'm going to add some more paint on here now. The actual piece of work I've started on, I'm going to show you just a little bit. This is coat number 1. So in order to create this kind of appearance, you have to lay down lots of little layers. And what I really like about watercolour is how these sort of layers form, and how I'm desperately trying to cover bits up so that you can't see, and also I don't want my client to see what it looks like until she opens it up. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last I'll show you of this specific piece because, you know, I don't want to give it away. But yeah, this is the kind of effect we're going for, and then this is ultimately this kind of layered, puddled effect is what we're looking at. I'm going to end today's vlog here. It's actually been a much longer vlog than I was anticipating. I've just edited all of today's bits and bobs up to this clip, obviously, I'm not that good. But I'm going to leave it here. It's about 10 to 6, but I was going to have a rest day today because I realised that I trained 2 days cardio on Saturday and Sunday, gymmed Monday, Tuesday, and I was going to rest today, but I'm going to do just half an hour of steady state cardio because I just feel like I need to. I am getting to that time of the month where I'm feeling hormonal, and I've been better off this month than last month because last month I had about 3 weeks of feeling really depressed, whereas this month I haven't had that yet. I feel a little bit not quite myself today, but I think it's a mixture of just the goings on in the world yesterday and my thoughts on that, because I get ridiculously sensitive to all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get changed for spinning, do some cycling. I think I'm just gonna quickly lay down one more coat of paint on that piece, I think, or I may do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow so then I don't rush it. Yeah. And what else? I was gonna say something else. No, that's everything. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thursday tomorrow, I have a session with Gemma tomorrow, so I've got a couple more things to do for that session with Gemma. That freebie that I showed you earlier, I've made my amendments now. The only thing I haven't done yet is the bonus copy at the back. So yeah, quite a productive day I think. So hopefully tomorrow will be even more productive. I'll see you then guys, bye.